Hello students, welcome to our third lecture on Laplace transformation. Today we will be studying the differential and Laplace transformation on differential and integrals. But before that we will study the existence and uniqueness theorem. So here is the existence theorem that I have written here. The existence theorem specifies that if our ft is defined and it is piecewise continuous for the interval t greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0, and it satisfies the condition that mod of ft should be less than equals to m e to the power kt, where m and k are some constants. This is in the interval t greater than or equals to 0. Then Laplace of f will exist for all s greater than k. Now we will be studying the proof of this theorem. Our ft is defined and it is piecewise continuous, and so let us take this function. It is defined and it is piecewise continuous, and our mod ft is less than or equals to m e to the power kt. Now we define Laplace as integration 0 to infinity e to the power minus st f of t dt. Now let us take the modulus on both sides, because we need to prove that the Laplace transformation is bounded. So we take the modulus on both the sides. So now let us take the modulus inside. So hence the Laplace will be less than or equals to e to the power minus st modulus of f of t dt. Now we know that modulus of ft is less than or equals to m e to the power kt. Hence the modulus of Laplace of f will be less than or equals to integration 0 to infinity e to the power minus st m times e to the power kt dt. Our m and k are constants, hence m will come outside. We will be integrating from 0 to infinity e to the power minus s minus kt dt. Now it was told you that s should be greater than k for our condition to satisfy. Now if you look at here, the integration gives m cross minus 1 by s minus k e to the power minus s minus kt integration from 0 to infinity. If our s is less than k, then this will reach infinity. Hence this is an important condition, that s should be greater than k. So for t equals to 0, the value of this becomes 1, and for t equals to infinity, the value becomes 0. Hence our modulus of f will be less than or equals to m divided by s minus k. This shows that our function will be bounded, and hence the Laplace of the function exists. Now let us take an example for the existence theorem. Suppose our function is cos hyperbolic t. Now this cos hyperbolic t will be less than e to the power t, correct? So e to the power t is in the form of m e to the power kt is nothing but m equals to 1 and k equals to 1. Hence the Laplace of cos st will exist, as m and k we have as a constant here. Now let us look at the uniqueness theorem. The uniqueness theorem states that if the Laplace of a function exists, it will be uniquely defined. Now, and if two functions, we have suppose two functions, f of t and y of t. If two functions have the same Laplace transformation, here let our f of t has the Laplace transformation f of s. Let our y of t has the Laplace transformation y of s. So if both are equal, if f of s is equals to y of s, then f of t will be equals to y of t. And similarly, if f of t equals to y of t, then the Laplace transformation of f of t and y of t will be same. Now that is all for existence and uniqueness theorem. Now let us study the transform of derivatives and integrals. Now there is a simple saying that for differentiation of f of t, we just need to multiply Laplace of f by s, and for the integration of f of t, there will be the division of Laplace of f by s. Now let us look at the formula for the first differentiation. So Laplace of first f dash t is nothing but df over dt, where f is a function of t. So Laplace of f dash is defined as s times Laplace of f minus f of 0. We will be seeing the proof in a short while. Now three conditions has to be satisfied for this to get through. First, f of t should be continuous. Second, our function f dash t should be piecewise continuous. And third, which you have seen for existence, is that mod of ft should be less than m e to the power kt. Now let us take a look at the proof of Laplace of f dash. Now this is our f dash t. So Laplace of f dash t will be defined as integration from 0 to infinity e to the power minus st f dash t dt. Now we will be using integration by parts here. So the integration will become, we will be integrating this function, and this function will keep as second function and differentiate it. So the integration of this will become e to the power minus st f of t. F dash t is integrated to f of t from 0 to infinity minus, now differentiation of e to the power minus st will be equals to minus of s will come outside, again integrating from 0 to infinity e to the power minus st f of t dt. Now for t equals to 0, the value of this will become f of 0, and for t equals to infinity, the value of e to the power minus st will become 0, hence the value of this will become 0. So this will become 0 minus f of 0 plus s times integration 0 to infinity e to the power minus st f of t dt. Hence this will become as s times Laplace of f. This is nothing but Laplace of f, and here this is minus f of 0. Now let us find the Laplace transformation of the second derivative. So this will be Laplace of f double dash of t, which will be equals to integration from 0 to infinity e to the power minus st f double dash t dt. Similarly, as we did in that equation, this will be our first function, this will be our second function. So it will come as e to the power minus st f dash of t going from 0 to infinity. F double dash is integrated to f dash t minus of minus s integrating from 0 to infinity e to the power minus st f dash t dt. Now for t equals to 0, this will become f dash 0, and for t equals to infinity, this will become as 0. So this will be minus f dash of 0 plus s times integration of 0 to infinity e to the power minus st f dash t dt. Now this we can directly write it from here. Laplace of f dash we know, it is s times L of f minus f of 0. So we can directly put the function here. So the answer will be minus f dash of 0 plus s times s Laplace of f minus f of 0. So this will give us Laplace of second differential of f will be equals to s square L of f minus s time f of 0 minus f dash of 0. Now if we generalize this for f to the power n, this will become as Laplace of f to the power n, which is equals to s to the power n Laplace of f minus s to the power n minus 1 f of 0 minus s to the power n minus 2 f dash of 0, can go on till minus f to the power n minus 1 of 0. Now in this we told that here f has to be continuous, f dash has to be continuous, and f should be less than or equals to m e to the power kt. So similarly for this function our f double dash has to be piecewise continuous, f and f dash has to be continuous function, and f should be less than m e to the power kt. Now for this our fn should be piecewise continuous, f dash till f to the power n minus 1 has to be continuous, and f should be less than m e to the power kt, which is an important condition. Now I just told you that ft should be less than or equals to m e to the power kt. Please make it as mod ft less than m e to the power kt. Now suppose you are given a function, here it is t sin alpha t. You need to find the Laplace of this using differentiation. You can try it on your own first and then see how it is done. Now let us find the first derivative of this. F dash t will be equals to sin alpha t plus t alpha cos alpha t. For our f of 0 will be equals to 0 and f dash of 0 will be also equals to, for t equals to 0 is sin alpha t equals 0, and for t equals to 0 this term will become 0 and f dash of 0 will become 0. Now let us find f double dash t, the second differential, which is equals to differentiation of sin alpha t will give us alpha times cos alpha t plus differentiation of this function will be alpha times cos alpha t plus t multiplied by alpha multiplied by differentiation of cos alpha t will be minus alpha sin alpha t, which will give us 2 times alpha cos alpha t minus t alpha square sin alpha t. Now our main function was t sin alpha t. Here we are getting the same function t sin alpha t multiplied by constant alpha square. So this will be 2 alpha cos alpha t minus alpha square t sin alpha t. Now we need to find the Laplace of f double dash. We know that Laplace of f double dash is equals to s square times L of f minus s times f of 0 minus f dash of 0. Here our f of 0 is 0, f dash of 0 is also 0, hence Laplace of f double dash will be equals to s square times Laplace of f. So this is our f double dash. So when we put the Laplace of f double dash, we will get it as L times Laplace of 2 alpha cos alpha t minus alpha square t sin alpha t will be equals to s square times Laplace of t sin alpha t. So this will be, here our 2 and alpha are constant, so both of them will come out 2 times Laplace of cos alpha t minus alpha square is also constant, alpha square Laplace of t sin alpha t is equals to s square times Laplace of t sin alpha t. So this can go this side, so this is 2 alpha times Laplace of cos alpha t will be equals to s square plus alpha square times, let us call it this as a function f, Laplace of f. Now we know that Laplace of cos alpha t is equals to s over s square plus alpha square. So this becomes 2 alpha s over s square plus alpha square, which is equals to s square plus alpha square Laplace of f. Hence our Laplace of f becomes 2 alpha s over s square plus alpha square whole square. Now let us take our different example, sin alpha t. We know that the Laplace of sin alpha t is alpha over alpha square plus s square, but let us find it using the differentiation. Here our f of 0 is equals to 0, our f dash t is equals to alpha times cos alpha t, our f dash of 0 is equals to alpha. The second differential f double dash of t will be equals to minus alpha square sin alpha t. Here we have our sin alpha t back. We know that Laplace of f double dash is equals to s square times L of f minus s times f of 0 minus f dash of 0. So our f of 0 is 0 and f dash 0 is nothing but alpha. So Laplace of f double dash equals to s square L of f minus this becomes 0, this becomes alpha. Let us replace it, f double dash is alpha square times f, this is become minus alpha square will come outside, Laplace of sin alpha t will be equals to s square L of f minus alpha. F is nothing but sin alpha t. So let us move alpha square that side and alpha this side. Alpha equals to alpha square plus s square Laplace of sin alpha t. So Laplace of sin alpha t is alpha over alpha square plus s square. So these were simple problems on differentiation. Now we will be seeing the integral portion, the transformation of the integral portion. Now let us move on to the transformation of the integrals. We saw that in the differentiation portion the Laplace transformation get multiplied by s. So we can expect here that the Laplace transformation of integral will be the division of s to the transformed function. So the Laplace transformation of the integral portion is nothing but 1 over s times f of s, and similarly the Laplace inverse of 1 over s f of s will give us the integrated function of f of t. Now here f of t, f of the function f of t is piecewise continuous. Now for seeing the proof, let us take our function g of t. G of t is nothing but our integration function defined from 0 to t f of tau t tau. So g dash t will be f of t. Now let us take the Laplace transformation of g dash t. So we know that the Laplace of f dash is nothing but s times Laplace of f minus f of 0. So Laplace of g dash t will be s times Laplace of g of t minus g of 0. Now g of t is 0 to t f of tau d tau. If you put t equals to 0, this becomes 0, our t becomes 0. So integration from 0 to 0 is nothing but 0. Hence g of 0 is 0. So this becomes 0. So Laplace of g dash t is s times Laplace of g of t. Now let us replace g of t with our function f of t. So we get Laplace of g dash t is nothing but f of t. Laplace of f of t equals to s times Laplace of g of t is integration function, integration 0 to t f of tau d tau. So Laplace of integration 0 to t f of tau d tau will be equals to 1 over s Laplace of f of t, and this is nothing but f of s. So this will be f of s over s. Similarly, the inverse of 1 over s f of s will be equals to integration 0 to t f of tau d tau. Now we will take an example to see how the integration and its transformation works. Now here we are given a function f of s which is equals to 1 over s square plus omega square, and we need to find the inverse of this function. So and we know that Laplace inverse of 1 over s f of s is nothing but the integration of f of tau d tau. Let us take a part of this function, call it as g of s, which is equals to 1 over s square plus omega square, correct? So our f of s is equals to 1 over s times g of s. Now our Laplace inverse of g of s is nothing but 1 over omega sine omega t. So Laplace inverse of 1 over s g of s will be equals to, from that function, integration of 0 to t 1 over omega sine omega tau d tau. This 1 over s is g of s is nothing but f of s. Hence the Laplace inverse of f of s is this function. Now we need to just integrate this function. This is equals to integration 0 to t sine omega tau d tau divided by omega. Integration of sine omega tau is minus times 1 over omega cos omega tau, minus 1 over omega square cos omega tau from 0 to t, which will be equals to minus 1 over omega square cos omega t minus, for tau equals to 0, cos omega t will be 1. So this is 1 minus cos omega t by omega square. So that is all for today's lecture. In the next lecture we will discuss some more examples on the integrals and differentials, and we will solve the ordinary differential equations and the initial value problems using the Laplace transformation. So that is all for today's lecture. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you all.